Why does money control your life? It's just paper or numbers on a screen. Sometimes it's not even that. Most of the money you use every day exists only as digital information stored on computers somewhere in the world. Yet, despite being something we can neither eat nor drink, money influences almost every aspect of our lives. It affects where we live, what jobs we take, how we spend our time, and even how much stress we experience. It shapes our ambitions, our relationships, and often our sense of success. But if money has no real value on its own, why does it have such extraordinary power over us? The answer lies in one of the most remarkable stories in human history. Because money is not really about wealth, it's about trust. And to understand why money became so important, we need to go back long before banks, before coins, and even before civilization itself.
For most of human history, humans lived in small groups of hunter-gatherers. In these communities, there was no need for money. People survived through cooperation. If one person was successful in hunting, the food was shared. If another person knew where to find water or shelter, that knowledge benefited the group. Survival depended on relationships rather than transactions. People didn't accumulate wealth in the way we think about it today. Instead, they built trust and reputation within their community. This worked because groups were small. Everyone knew everyone else. You could remember who had helped you in the past and who might help you in the future. But as human populations grew and settlements became larger, this system began to break down. Once you are dealing with hundreds or thousands of people, it becomes impossible to keep track of every favor, every debt, and every exchange. Human societies needed a new way to organize cooperation. The earliest forms of money were surprisingly simple. Different societies used shells, salt, cattle, precious metals, and other valuable objects as a medium of exchange. But these objects weren't important because of what they physically were. They were important because people collectively agreed they had value. This was a revolutionary idea. For perhaps the first time in history, humans were creating value through shared belief rather than direct usefulness. Think about that for a moment. A gold coin is only valuable because other people agree that it is valuable. A banknote is only worth something because society collectively accepts it. The physical object itself has very little intrinsic worth. What matters is the trust behind it. In many ways, money is one of humanity's greatest acts of imagination. And this ability to create shared beliefs is something humans are uniquely good at. We can believe in things that don't physically exist. Nations, laws, corporations, religions, and currencies all exist because large groups of people agree they do. Money is perhaps the most successful example of this phenomenon ever created. What makes money so powerful is that it allows strangers to cooperate. In a hunter-gatherer tribe, trust was personal. You trusted people because you knew them. But in a modern society, you regularly interact with people you will never meet again. Every time you buy food, receive a salary, or pay a bill, you are participating in a vast network of trust involving millions of strangers. Money acts as the bridge that makes these interactions possible. Over time, money evolved. Coins gave way to paper currency. Paper currency became electronic transactions. Today, much of the world's wealth exists only as numbers moving through digital systems. Yet, despite becoming less physical, money has become more influential than ever. In fact, the less tangible money has become, the more dependent we seem to be on it. But money doesn't just influence economies, it influences our psychology. Our brains evolved in environments where resources were scarce and survival was uncertain. Having access to resources increased the chances of survival, and over thousands of generations, our minds became highly sensitive to signals of security and status. In the modern world, money has become one of the strongest signals of both. This is why money can trigger such powerful emotions. Financial loss can create genuine feelings of fear and anxiety. Financial gain can create excitement and satisfaction. Yet these emotions often have less to do with the money itself and more to do with what money represents. To many people, money symbolizes safety, freedom, opportunity, and control over the future.
The problem is that these desires rarely have a clear endpoint. If money represents security, then how much security is enough? If it represents status, then compared to whom? Human beings are remarkably good at adapting to improved circumstances. What once felt like success quickly becomes normal. New goals appear, new comparisons emerge. The finish line moves further away. This creates one of the great paradoxes of modern life. The very system that allows billions of people to cooperate and prosper also creates endless opportunities for comparison and dissatisfaction. Our ancestors compared themselves to a small tribe of perhaps 100 people. Today, we compare ourselves to entire nations, celebrities, entrepreneurs, and social media influencers. Our brains were never designed for that scale of comparison. So why does money control our lives?
Because money is far more than paper, coins, or numbers on a screen. It is a shared belief system that allows humans to cooperate on a scale never before seen in nature. It is a tool built on trust, maintained by collective agreement, and reinforced by institutions across the world. But at a deeper level, money matters because it connects directly to some of our most fundamental human needs: the need for safety, the need for status, the need for freedom, the need to feel secure in an uncertain world. Money may not be real in the physical sense, but the human behaviors and emotions attached to it certainly are. And perhaps that is why, thousands of years after its invention, money remains one of the most powerful ideas our species has ever created.
This is Origins of Us, a journey into the history of humanity and the events that shape the world we live in today. If you want to understand the full story of humanity, not the myths, but the science, then be sure to subscribe and we'll see you in the next video.